Everybody can please get those cameras ready for us out there one more time. We got a few toasts coming our way next. But first one, I'm going to turn the microphone on over to the maid of honor.
Good call, good call.
Hi everyone. I just wanted to start off by formally introducing myself for those of you who don't know me. You may know me by a few different names and maybe a few different personalities, but I'm Jacqueline and I'm Sarah's younger sister. I've got to say, Sarah and Chris, I couldn't be happier for you guys. You are each other's perfect match, like two peas in a pod. Chris, you sure are lucky. Take a look at your bride. Doesn't she just look stunning? Talk about a 10 out of 10. And that dress! This girl's been outdoing me in dress-up since I was 2. And let's be honest, Sarah, you know it's because you literally stole all the tutus and left me with nothing. You've seen the pictures. You know you took advantage. And while I'm on it, let's just talk about how everyone thinks she's this sweet and angelic doll. And maybe that's how she got the nickname from our dad, but mine was Bubba Head Woman. So I just don't really see where he was coming from. And then there was this time that she tried bartering for my Barbies that were a gift at my birthday party before I could even talk to defend myself. People don't forget. If I'm being really honest though, that day, more than 25 years ago, was probably the last time in her life that Sarah ever did anything shady. I did have to test her out a few times after that though. See, we shared a room, and rumor has it that I was a pretty tough baby. Don't believe everything you hear. Anyway, one night, I had a really bad diaper. Standard night. But I guess the stench woke her up. She's so sensitive. But you see, this girl, she didn't go get help. She took matters into her own delicate 3-year-old hands. Just her in the tissue box, and my backside. And from then on, I knew she was all right. And I think our parents were grateful for that one too. So with that said, Chris, I think you've got it made. Sarah's got your back for life in more ways than one. You can thank me later. On a serious note, we are so happy to welcome you into our family. You and Sarah complement each other so well, and it is so comforting to see how happy you have made and continue to make her. I couldn't have wanted anything more for my sister. If you guys know Sarah and Chris, you will know them to be two of the most genuinely kind people, two of the most easygoing people, who will literally do whatever to make each other happy. I will say, I don't know any other couple who from time to time will switch sides of the bed in the middle of the night just to take turns. But if it works, it works. At this time, I want everyone to hold up whatever they're drinking and toast to a happy and fulfilling life together as Mr. and Mrs. Guzman. I love you guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Jacqueline. If you could turn that on over to the best man.
Hello, everybody. Everybody hear me okay? See me? Okay. This time without the screeching. Okay. So I'm going to pick up very much the way the maid of honor left off. I'm going to start by introducing myself to those who don't know me. My name is Rob. I am Chris's older brother. I like to call myself the prototype. I have the fortunate opportunity to be the part of the entertainment for tonight. So, as his older brother, of course, it's kind of my obligation to embarrass him a little bit. I could go on at length, of course, about Chris's youth, tell you all kinds of crazy stories. For instance, I could mention that Chris had this uncanny habit as a kid of walking all over the house on his tiptoes, like he was practicing for the ballet. Or that he had this 101 Dalmatians pillowcase that he could not sleep with. That was cool. We shared bunk beds, of course, but you're all about to eat, so I will not mention that. This is a wedding, after all, not a roast, so I'm going to save that for roast when it happens. But what I want to provide for you tonight is a unique view of tonight's events, and that is the view of the oldest brother in a very large family watching his wonderful little brother get married. Now, it's no secret that competition is a Guzman family hallmark. I'm sure all of you know that. Whether it's playing video games, sports, academics, the kids in my family would always try to outcompete one another, and Chris and I were especially competitive. We used to get into physical fights as kids, but as we got older and smarter, our battleground shifted to politics, economics, philosophy. You may have seen some of our bouts at family gatherings. Now, those of you who have seen these bouts may look and say, wow, they're so different, or they must really dislike each other to argue so much. But the fact is that both of those are true. Chris and I are more similar than we are different, and that's why we fight so much. We both have a lot to say, we both stand firm to our principles, and we both really respect the other person. Whenever we talk, no matter what the other person says, we walk away with full respect and love, knowing the other person is coming from their heart, and they're saying what they really believe. And we've been friends ever since we were kids for that reason. How can you be so close, you might ask? Well, Chris was my first roommate. We shared bunk beds, as I mentioned. When I was in high school, whenever I had a tough exam or a tough quiz, I would always teach Chris what I was going to learn that week in school for the test. And Chris was so bright, so smart, he'd sit there and listen to all of it. And then he would ask me questions. And if I couldn't answer them, I knew I had to go back to the books. And if he could answer them, if I could answer them, I knew that I knew the material and I'd get the A. So I have to say, Chris, in a big way, you made me who I am today for that reason. So I'll give you just one quick anecdote here that's kind of amusing. A few years ago, Chris and I went with my dad and our friend Scott to go see my little sister Julie, who's back in Afghanistan, by the way, at Fort Knox, Kentucky. And it was a road trip, a real roadie. We went to DC, we stopped at a couple places along the way. Of course, I was complaining the whole time, because I'm a prima donna. And Chris was very optimistic, lots of positive energy, very great, a lot of fun. So one night we're in the hotel, the four of us. We're sharing two beds and some cots, and I hear this ungodly noise in the hotel room. And in retrospect, the way I would describe it is probably a congested elephant who had a little too much to drink trying to sing a Bob Dylan song. Of course, it was my dad snoring. So as the night went on, the snoring continued, it got dimmer and dimmer, and so I thought to myself, I'm going to get some sleep tonight. He'll run out of energy and he'll fall asleep. So as it gets to its lowest volume, all of a sudden, bam, it's louder than ever before. The snoring would just not end. And here I am thinking, I'm the only one awake, I'm not going to get any sleep on this road trip, and so what did I do? I started laughing. I laughed so hard, I couldn't even contain myself. I was like, I don't want to wake anybody up. But of course, in the bed next to me was Chris, and he started laughing at the exact same time that I did. And for that brief moments, it was like back when we were kids. Back when we shared bunk beds, we could talk about anything when the lights went off, whether it was girls, school, health problems, you name it, we talked about it as kids. So that was a fun memory, and it was like the good old days. So I want to wrap up. I don't want to keep you too long, and I have some fairly sappy and important things to say here. And I want to say this, Chris, as your older brother, I'm so very proud of you. You've gone from being this lovable, big-hearted, and funny kid to a lovable, big-hearted, funny, and brilliant man. The times have changed, so that once there was a little boy I taught a thing or two in bunk beds, now there's a man who's taught me a thing or two about finding the woman of his dreams and marrying her, following through and having the best ceremony I can imagine. You put us all to shame. Sarah is lucky to have you. And Sarah, welcome to the family. As the oldest in a very large family, I'll say that there's always room for another little sister. And as long as I'm kicking, you guys can both always count on me to help me in whatever you need, anytime, anywhere. I love you. So please, if you'll all join me, raise your glass and toast to the happy couple. Love you guys.
Thank you, Robbie. Please turn that microphone on over to the brother of the bride, Mark.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. The first two did that. I'll just pick right up where they left off. I'm Mark, and I'm Sarah's brother. What a right to state this. I mean, here we are on this, the day of my sister's wedding. You know, it's not every day you get to see your sister get married. So, you think I'd miss this party? No, not a chance. Come on. Anyway, so they say when you do these speaking things, you really ought to start off with a quote. I mean, I don't know who they are, but for some reason, they seem to know what they're talking about. So, I found a quote that I think fits what I want to say and what's going on. I mean, I've known Sarah 28 years, and I think I found a good quote that sums up really our relationship for the first 28 years and probably however many years to come. Imagination and memory are but one thing, which for diverse considerations have diverse names. So when I first heard that quote, I knew it was a key. At the time, I didn't know why, but eventually, I figured it out. Like I said, I've known Sarah pretty much my whole life. In fact, the earliest memory I have actually occurs after she's already gone. So I don't really have any memories that she isn't a part of. And the funny thing about the memories we share, a lot of the stuff actually happened. But some of the memories we have, we just kind of made up, and like just funny stories and references and inside jokes, and it's actually really cool because we have like these, we share notes, messages, we have these hand signals we do. It's like, it's really cool. Like, if you're ever in a room and we're talking to each other, I mean, it's like we're talking like a different language, and but we know what we're talking about. It's like the craziest thing. And I would love to stand up here and talk about all those memories. I could do it for hours and days. Like literally, I really, really could. But the last thing I want to do on the day of her wedding is stand up here in front of everyone and put you guys to sleep talking about like references that only Sarah and I are going to get. So, that'd be fun for us, right? But you guys would be like, what the heck is this guy talking about? Why is he even up here speaking? He's just talking complete nonsense. So I thought about all the memories we share. And as I was thinking about memories to share with all of you, I wanted one in particular because I really want to only talk about one. And I wanted one that showed what Sarah was all about, instead of one that was just all about Sarah, because today is all about Sarah. And after thinking about it, the very best one came to me in the form of a photograph, because that's really what a photograph is. I mean, it's a physical memory that you can see, you can touch, and you can hold in your hand. And that was the key, because I wanted it to be tangible. Because I could say there was this memory that Sarah and I had, and no one would know what I was talking about. With a particular photograph, anyone here can say, oh yeah, that's the memory Mark was talking about. He wasn't just making it up just because he had to speak at Sarah's wedding. Not that I would do that, by the way. Anyway, as time goes by and memories fade, forgetting the past becomes all too easy. So when you find a memory, like this photograph I'm about to share with you, well, I'm not going to share with you, I actually have it, I'm just going to describe it. When you find a memory like this, you hold on to it. That's just what you do. Anyway, back to this photograph. It's actually one of my favorite photographs that I really ever seen. It's a picture of me and Sarah, but with a keen eye for detail, you notice that it's more than that. It's probably like a spring day, based on what we're wearing. And the two of us were standing at the end of our street, the street we grew up on. And Sarah's trying to hold my hand, and I can't really tell if she's got it, or if I'm pulling away, or if she has my hand, I'm trying to rest. The point is, I don't want any part of it. But that's not really what gets me going in this photograph. What really gets me going is Sarah's sitting there, or she's standing there, and she's just got this huge smile. I mean, I saw that. But that's it. That's the look. That's exactly what that's the exact look she had in that photograph. And I don't know. Our mom knows what photograph it is. It's on our fridge. There's nothing written on the back, so I don't know when it was taken, but how old was she, 5 years old? Yeah. No, I don't know how old, 5? But no older than 5, right? She had to be no older than 5, right? Had to be. Okay. So here's this 5-year-old, okay? And she's just got this huge, that same smile. And it's crazy because here she's just 28 years old. And she's got the same exact smile. So it doesn't matter if she's 5 years old or 28 years old, she's still the same person. And within every fiber of her being, she is still that person. And she always will. And in many ways, probably more than any of you will ever know, she'll truly always be that 5-year-old to me. Always. Now, I know what our mom's thinking. I'm not putting on the spot again, I promise, but I know what she's thinking. She's thinking, where's reverse, right? Well, there is no reverse. Time always marches forward. And that's not a bad thing, especially for such a driven person like Sarah. I mean, she's a doctor. The name's not just for show. She earned it. But she's got these fillings to do, extractions, lead agents for x-rays, right? And the joy of telling patients that there's nothing wrong with them. Well, nothing medically wrong with their teeth. There may be some other stuff going on, but that's not her department. I got some dentists, some of your BU classmates around who actually know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about too. Okay, all right. But we're not here to celebrate Sarah becoming a dentist. We actually already did that. We're here for something else. It's something that Sarah's been looking for a long time. But I'm not quite sure how to describe it. Because putting it into a word, I don't know if it's going to give it justice. So I thought about it. It wasn't living the dream. It wasn't meeting the goal. And then it came to me. How could I have missed it? The word that best describes what Sarah was looking for was paradise. Because paradise is different for everyone. But you know it when you see it. And that's the one thing I think we can all agree on is when you see paradise, true paradise, you can't mistake it. Exactly. And the road to paradise is not easy. It's not a destination you find on a map, but trust me, it's there. Paradise isn't something you can just wake up one day, you'll flick a switch like, you know what, I'm in paradise now. It doesn't work that way. It's really a journey. You can't just, throw it together from odds and ends and just wind up there. No. And you just can't decide on a whim, okay, you know what, we're in paradise now. No, that doesn't work. Not everybody makes it. Some try as hard as they can to come up short. Others get distracted along the way and settle for something that seems like paradise, but it really isn't. Others try as hard as they can to get there, and they still come up short. Others can't make it at all. Others don't even try. But what's paradise to Sarah? Well, smiling Sarah now has a hand to hold. Show him. He's not pulling away. She found the hand to hold. She found a companion to hold her hand to. That's you, Chris. Now, I could talk more about memories and all that fun stuff. I could go back to the photo again and again and again. I can do it for hours and hours and hours because there's so much more I could pull out of that photo, so much more I could talk about Sarah. I really, really could. But I'm not going to do that because we got to wrap it up. We got a meal to go. It's, we got to start dancing. We got to have a lot of fun. You don't want to hear me talk all day. I talked a lot about memories and all that stuff, and maybe it's just the way I'm wired. I don't know, but I'm sure all of us have a little bit of this. It's like I have one eye that sees the present, but another that sees the past. And Sarah's shaking because she knows that's not right. Because today, it's not about the past, and it's not about the present, it's really about the future. So on that note, I'd like to propose a toast. And if I may, I'd actually like to propose two. Nobody said no, so I'm going to do it too. All right. So the first goes out to a 5-year-old. A 5-year-old who never wavered and never strayed and always remained true to that 5-year-old's character. And in so doing, became a great friend. Take care of her, Chris. That's the first toast. And the second one, the reason we're all here, to Sarah and Chris. Whether or not they're tangible, may the two of you never forget the many happy memories you will undoubtedly make together. And many, many years from now, when you're looking back on it all, I hope the two of you have no regrets. To Sarah and Chris.
Thank you, Mark.
What?
And if everybody could please keep those cameras ready for us out there, I'd like to